Hello everyone, this is Shadow Realm Hunter, and this video will be comparing TCG Ultimate Rares or Prismatic Ultimate Rares versus the Asian English Ultimate Rares. Basically, I'll be just looking at the staples. All I gotta say is that the Asian English to the right are way better than the TCG ones here. Basically, there's way more structure, more textures within the card versus compared to this left one, the TCG one. The TCG cards are really bad. They stick to the card, but the Asian English does not. Keep in mind that this Asian English is double sleeved, and if you try to double sleeve these ones, you're gonna see a lot of bubbles within the card. And just looking at the textures, like I said, this Ash Blossom, the texture is just way more visible. It's just way more pronounced versus TCG. It's just very bad. I'll even take it out of the sleeves. Oh man, and it's already stuck. Yep, for a better comparison, look at the Blossom. Basically, the star is here. They can do that on the Asian English. And the star is here on the TCG. Nope, there's nothing. And even the fire, there's a little shine to it on the attribute, which there's none here. Basically, the textures here, there's just more on the border. Like, look at that, like those dots. And here, it's just like non-existent. So yeah, card texture too wise, the ultimate rares, they just look way better. And just kind of defeats the TCG one. I really regret buying all these prismatic ultimate rares. Alright, that's Blossom. Let's look at Effect Veiler. So on left, TCG, right, Asian English. Basically, these are just the Asian English to the right. These are basically the same exact replica you would see on the OCG cards. So even the Japanese cards have the same identical textures. So you can see, like I said, this Effect Veiler just has way more textures, which is superior anyway to the TCG version, which basically there's none, and the card just sticks. I think one thing you could also notice too is that the TCG one, somehow where the card doesn't really have the textures, it's just so thick. Like yeah, that's what makes the card stick, because somehow the gloss is just so thick. But the Asian English, it's not thick at all. That's why it doesn't stick to the sleeve. So yep, just what I mean by that now, you'll see what I mean more. Now this is basically Nibiru in a double sleeve, and if you turn it, there's so much bubbles from the elevated glossiness within double sleeve. But look at the right, look at the special effects that the card can do, but TCG cannot do any of that special effect texture. Alright, the next staple is Ghost Bell. So like I said, it sticks, but the Asian English formula got it right. And the TCG does have these little triangles, which are pronounced, but they're not as like pronounced as super pronounced as the Asian English one. Look at those triangles at the background. You can do that. So that's some beautiful textures for Ultimate Rare. And this one is just kind of, it's there a bit, but once you sleeve it, you're not going to really see it anymore. Ghost Bell, and Infinite Impermanence. Basically, the Asian English can do that. It has that special effect. Whereas, like I said, TCG doesn't really do anything. And I'll even take it out of the sleeve. Evenly matched. Pot of Prosperity. Forbidden Droplet. And even for bonus, I also have the European one for TCG. Basically, the European one is slightly better above the the North American version. But then I would say the color accuracy is off compared to the Asian English. Asian English is the color accuracy is way more accurate. It's just more vibrant to hold. It just feels more premium. This would come in second place, but then color accuracy is off. The heel is too dark. But then the texture is kind of there, way better than the North American. Oh wow, the card is stuck, but okay, comparison, all right? So this is North American, this is the European version. So the European actually has that what's called again, texture that moves back and forth. North America kind of has none. It's just very flat. And it definitely has way more textures. But then when you throw in the Asian English just kind of dominates it by every way of the color and texture pattern. Next up, Lightning Storm. So basically for this one, I got 3 of them. The first one here is North American. And the second one is the European version. Like I said, it basically has better textures. And then the last one is the Asian English, which is basically the perfect version. Just look at that pattern. But like I said, the North American version just does nothing. There's none of that is really existent. Versus the European, it's slightly better. It does have the ripple effect. But then when you compare it to the Asian English pattern is just way more prevalent. Okay, next, Dark Ruler No More. Like, just look at that pattern on the Asian English. It's just superior texture. And lastly is Called by the Grave. I mean, overall, I just gotta say the Asian English cards are just better in every way for just textures and being an ultimate rare card. And these prismatic ultimate rares are just very bad. They're very thin. There's like I said, it's just all about the textures and patterns that makes the card a whole different. And as like I said, I'm just a casual Yu-Gi-Oh player. I'm non-competitive. So basically, I mean, since we're buying these cards, if you want the best of your money, sure. I mean, you can't use these Asian English in the TCG, but I mean, if you're just a casual and play with your locals, then you just use them, man. There's really no big deal of trying to use this and that, but I mean, unless you're in a tournament, you're not gonna be able to use it. But I mean, if you're just playing with your friends, like I said, a card is just a card. At the end of the day, you just throw it on the table. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. At the end of the day, just gotta say, Asian English all the way.